Yeah, in terms of insights for BetMGM, one of the things that I find interesting is that a lot of folks in the marketplace believe that we are going to have a higher scoring affair despite all of the unders that we saw yesterday. CeeDee Lamb to score the first touchdown at 11-1, Keenan Allen to score an anytime touchdown at even money. Erin, it does seem like that, the folks who are betting on this game really do believe that we're going to see a lot of touchdowns, unlike what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, I wonder if this should be an under, if it will go the other way. But both of these defenses haven't been overly impressive. I mean, the Cowboys suffering some injuries, the Chargers, we already talked about that. What about Quentin Johnston? Did anyone look at him and his receiving yards? Could he get more action tonight, or is that a stay away?
Is he dead to me? Is he dead to me? Is he dead to us? Not just to me, but to us.
Under
when
then.
you killed Ridley, he had a good game. No, that was 2 weeks later, actually.
Right.
It's going to happen at some point, but his high mark is 18 yards in the last game against Vegas.
But his prop is 30. I see a 34.5, 30.5. What about an under?
Yeah.
Or just stay away because you don't know.
I would consider that.
Because his game log does not match with the number, his prop number. I'm thinking, are the books just expecting this guy to have a huge game? Because 18, 10, 7, 9? I don't get it.
Okay, so
why is he
where's it going to go? It's going to go to Keenan. It's going to go to Eckler. It's going to go to Palmer. Like, there are a number of weapons that it's going to go to before Quentin Johnston. I'm kind of in the mode of, all right, prove it to me first. So, yeah, if you're going to make a bet on him, under seems like the play. The only scary thing is one explosive play from this Chargers team, and that could be dead. You know what I mean?
Right.
I need a sweat in this game. I might just bet that. Nothing like a riveting prop under for a wide receiver.
No, I think the numbers agree with you, Erin. I think that one makes a whole lot of sense. You know what I find fascinating is that Jake Ferguson, minus 130 to go over 3.5 receptions. 99% of the bets are on the over. I like the under. I don't know if he gets to 3.5, in large part because if this is a sharp total, then it's a wide receiver game. They're going to CeeDee Lamb. They're going to Michael Gallup. They're going to Brandon Cooks. They're not going to Jake Ferguson. Not to mention, Joe, I think you hit the nail on the head as far as this whole red zone woe thing, where, he's being targeted a lot because you're supposed to like those one-on-one matchups with a tight end. It's not working out for one reason or another. This is a wide receiver game for the Cowboys if it is going to be higher scoring. And if it's not, then the targets are still going that way, but they're turning into interceptions or incompletions. And then that is a huge problem where this Cowboys offense might be worse than we thought.
I think we're going to get a good game. I'm hopeful that we're going to get a good game. We got a close game last night. I wouldn't say a good game. We can't say it was a good game on Thursday. Last Sunday night, not so much. Monday night, not so much. Last Monday. I hope the market's right, because if this is a close, high-scoring affair, I think we're going to be all really happy.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why I feel like this could be a Cowboys bounce-back situation, and they do look dominant again.
It's another under party yesterday, which means it's a JLC party. Anybody that listens to BetMGM game day.
I can't believe I got on the Vikings over. I got on the Vikings over.
I know, me
Shame
too.
on me. I blame you.
Hey,
I blame you.
Well, if Fields is out there, maybe it has a chance.
No,
maybe if they actually,
I was already on
it. If they move the ball down the field a little bit. 12-2 unders again, 60% on the year. We heard, the weather would play into it. It did a little bit, but I didn't think it was so difficult where you wouldn't be able to score. What do you think the biggest reason is that teams are having trouble scoring this season?
Well, quarterback play, I haven't run the numbers yet this morning, but a lot of times on a Monday morning, I'll just run league average quarterback rating this year through X number of weeks compared to last year, compared to 5 years ago, compared to 10 years ago. It's been down. Interception rate has been up. How many guys do you really trust in the red zone? Like, how many play callers do you really trust? You know what I mean? Like, how many guys do you look at and say they add so much value to their team? like in the red zone, in critical situations, even just, some weird third and longs where most teams are already done. Are there some guys who are able to kind of flip that switch and keep that drive going? Because we know, the unders and overs is really simple for me. It's red zone mathematics. Like I love teams that can't score in the red zone and who have a legit red zone defense. And when they go against other like-minded or like-built teams, those are my favorite games of the week. And there was a bunch of them last week, and most of them did what I thought they would do, and some that I weren't sure of did it anyway. It gets really tough to compete down there, and that's the part of the field where the defense finally gets the edge. I think some of these officiating crews, that like the one who did the Ravens game, they love to call PI. They called a lot of PIs, but you still have to turn that gift in the red zone into the touchdown. And I just don't know how many wizards there are really on offense right now. Who takes it to the next level. I mean, you look like I'm all over the Saints. I love the Saints. Saints are my favorite teams to bet. I mean, they've gone from Drew Brees in the red zone, historically significant, to they don't even want to have a quarterback in the red zone. They just want to hand the ball off to Taysom Hill. They literally just want to have an extra running back. Like, God, I love you, Dennis Allen. I love you so much. You did it again. I love it. Right? And their kicker is, they got a rookie kicker. He's not even any good. That's great. It's not even 3. It's nothing. Zeros in the red zone. That's come on. What's better than that? That's Christmas Eve. So I just, some of these kickers stink. Some of these coaches are conservative to a fault. I think it's become the anti-analytics. I feel like the pendulum swung. And where years ago you saw guys like Ron Rivera, which way's the wind blowing? Oh, I'm a riverboat Ron. I'm Mr. Analytics. Like, I feel like it's going back the other way. John Harbaugh was the king of my quants are better than yours. My kid from MIT smarter than yours. Now I think he shuts them off in his ear. And like I told you, Joe, yesterday, this dude's just going to kick a field goal every chance he gets to kick a field goal because he's been burned too many other ways. He's lost too many other games. Like, people in this town aren't standing for it anymore. So I think those are sort of some of the factors. And maybe it is just a blip. Last year, the unders really hit hard the first 5 or 6 weeks as well. And then it kind of stabilized. But yeah, road teams, the home road advantage does not seem to be a big deal this year. And yeah, if you're not sure and you're thinking about betting a game, just sprinkle a small amount on the under and root for really extreme athletes to pee down their pants, which is fun. If you're 5'5" on a good day like me, or 5'7.5", just fade them all.
Early thoughts on Dolphins Eagles. I mean, kind of like the Dolphins. Early thought here as underdogs against this Philly Eagles team that seems to be missing Shane Steichen a lot. I mean, they haven't been that impressive. We just talked to JLC about it. Jalen Hurts struggling, the interceptions. Maybe they bounce back. Of course, they're at home, but getting Miami as a dog.
Let's not forget that the Eagles didn't have Jalen Carter or Darius Slay yesterday. Like, those are two very impactful players on their defense. Like, he's been so good. He's kind of a game wrecker, and it's everybody. It looks like he's going to win your defensive rookie of the year. And Slay's terrific. If they're missing Slay on the outside, that's going to be trouble. Pay close attention to that injury report for sure. How are the Eagles going to do against that run? That's the question with the Dolphins every single week. Is your secondary healthy? And how are you going to be able to do against that run? Paul mentioned it during the break, and I understand where he's coming from, where he mentioned this is the same spot as the Bills game. And I get it. Bills, weren't they 2.5-point favorites that week at home against the Dolphins? Eagles, 2.5-point home favorites coming off a loss. Were the Bills coming off a loss? I want to say they were. Yes. Before they end up smashing the Dolphins. Okay. Yeah. So it is. Yeah, it is a very comparable spot.